And moving on to another very thought-provoking question. Sincom7 asks, who would win in a battle, Chuck Norris or Superman? And I thought about this for a lot, and I thought, well, first Superman because he's invincible, and then I realized that he's not a real character, where Chuck Norris is an actual human being, so by default being alive should make him win. But then I realized that I hate Chuck Norris, and then I realized that I hate Superman. So all in all, I decided that it would be best if they didn't fight, because in war there are no winners. So now it's time to take things down a little bit. It's time to get a little bit more serious. It's time for me to stop being a smartass and actually address something that I want to make a reoccurring segment, hopefully, on these Let's Plays, and this is Stalin's relationship advice. And I've had the pleasure of having one of my subscribers come to me and ask for my wisdom. And that man is Redemption202, and he comes to me and he asks, how do you get someone into you? And what are the first things to talk about, sort of kind of deal. And I did a little bit of research on Redemption, and by research I mean I scanned his YouTube profile for about 2 seconds and found out that he is in college/university, and that is a perfect place to meet new people. I'm in or my semester's over, but I'm in university right now, and I've met so many new people. It's like the perfect place, because from there you can forge a lot of common ground at a university, and because you're all there to learn, right? So obviously you all have something in common, and once you sort of forge that common ground, then it's a lot easier to expand the conversation into other things and more interesting things. So, you know, say there's some girl in your I don't know what your major is, but say they're in your economics class, and you come up to her and say, oh yeah, I noticed you're in my economics class, and then kind of work the conversation about the class, about the teacher, what she thinks, you know, what she thought of the last test, sort of kind of deal, what she thinks of the subject material, how he teaches it, you know, then kind of move in from there to, like, you know, what other classes you're taking, what's your major. And then from there you can establish that foundation, you can establish that common ground, and then you can build upon that and branch out into other topics of conversation quite easily. But that being said, that I found personally in my experience that is a fantastic icebreaker. So on to the more hard-hitting question. He asks, how do you get someone into you? Or more, then he kind of goes in, how do you get someone to crave you, to want you? And in my experience, the best way to do that is to prove to your potential partner that you are different, that you are unlike anything else, you're unlike any other guy, and that you are quote-unquote special, that you will treat her in a way she's never been treated before, and a way that she obviously would want to be treated. So, to prove that you're kind of, let's take a couple examples that I kind of thought of that, say you're friends with another girl and she is very sought after, that there's lots of guys trying to court her, lots of guys who want to be with her. In that kind of situation, just sort of remain friends, kind of hang out with her, you know, give her advice if she's up or down, help her with whatever she needs, but don't show any kind of romantic interest in her. And she'll be thinking to herself, you know, why is this guy not showing any interest in me? All these other guys are showing interest in me. Why not him? Why doesn't he like me? Why doesn't he feel this way about me? And that'll kind of get her to think, you know, well, I want him to feel this way. I want him to like me, simply because, you know, everybody wants what they can't have, what they don't have, and that would that kind of mentality, that kind of strategy would work well in such a situation. Or say there's another girl, she's really shy, she doesn't have a lot of self-esteem, she doesn't go out, she doesn't talk a lot. That kind of situation, you have to make that effort to talk to her, to show interest in her, to listen to her, to show her that she is a good personality and she's someone you want to spend time with. Excuse me. That is sort of another strategy that you can use if, you know, let's say the girl has low self-esteem. I know these are kind of narrow, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. I'll give you a personal Example, there was a girl who I was very fond of, and she sort of became she's now my ex-girlfriend. But what happened was she was upset that in a lot of previous relationships that her partners or her boyfriends had abandoned her. They had found someone closer. They had found someone quote-unquote better. And basically I said to her, I'm like, look, you know, I've proven through situation A, situation B, situation C, that I've proven through all these scenarios that I'm not going to leave you, that I'm different than all these other guys, that I'm going to treat you the way you want to be treated, the way you need to be treated. And that's how I got her to sort of crave me. I didn't say my sort of speech in that way. I kind of dressed it up a little bit, and I didn't, you know, give it so straightforward, so to speak. But that's something from my personal experience, and even though that wasn't entirely true, it still got us to the point where we were together and we were dating, and for that time it was fantastic. But so to recap just a little bit, to summarize, the best way to get someone to crave you is to prove to them that you're unlike anything they've experienced. Anyway, I've rambled on about this for enough time. I could ramble on some more, but that's it for these Let's Plays. This has been JosefVStalin signing off parts 10 and 11, and I'll see you guys next time.